Yeah, and we've assembled a great team, and I know Paul's put together a fantastic team under him, and new marketing executives, PR, really across the boards, digital, everyone, and kind of everyone coming together to, we knew we had to roll up our sleeves, and there was hard work to be done, but we felt we had the advantage of those, assets I mentioned a second ago. But I think, we don't want to. We kept saying it's the new NBC. We're not trying to go back to, the days of, Friends, and, we hope to replicate some of that success. But we really wanted to start with a kind of our new identity for what NBC is. And I know there's a lot that's been written about trying to go a little broader than the Thursday night comedies. But really what we're trying to do is just bring quality, must-see TV in the sense of, the old regime, old regime, but that, we really just want to bring quality and bring things that we love, that we feel connect to an audience, and we love the shows that we ordered and feel passionately about them. And
how are they different from the last generation of shows you might have greenlit a year ago, or ordered a year ago?
Well, sorry. I wasn't there for that, but I think, when Bob came in, there was a selection of shows there that he had to work with. He obviously pulled Smash out from, his suitcase somewhere under the desk. But, I think he was making decisions based on what he thought had the best chance given the, choices that he had. Some of those shows, like Whitney and Grimm, have turned out to be, great for us. The Thursday night lineup is, struggling a little bit, but we love those shows. We believe in Up All Night. We certainly believe in The Office, and the whole lineup really. But
how would you define, if I were just to say, like, what's the
Well, I think that people
NBC?
are always looking for a clear definition of each of these broadcast brands, and
Right.
for some reason, people are generally more obsessed with NBC's brand than they are with our competitors, and part of that is the extraordinary legacy and history of NBC that people still really care about.
I would agree with that.
And I think that
there's a lot of goodwill toward.
but I think rather than sort of defining a broadcast brand through new logos or NBC, the letters NBC and sort of jazzier lettering or anything like that, I think that the starkest contrast of where we're taking the network, and it's easy to obviously look at these through the prism of when something is successful versus unsuccessful. But if you looked at our fall Monday night last year, it was a combination of a singing show called The Sing-Off, which had been sort of taken out of a protected holiday slot and called upon to do, frankly, its duty on a Monday night. The Sing-Off followed by Playboy Club. And this fall, we have The Voice, which is arguably one of the biggest shows on TV, followed by Revolution, which it couldn't be more different in terms of its breadth, the themes that it hits, and its statement of intent than Playboy Club.
Would you have put the Playboy Club on TV?
It's a hard question because I developed that show at 20th and then came over. So Playboy Club and Awake were both shows that originated at 20th, which was my old home. We were worried about the show being really polarizing. We like things that are polarizing. But what we didn't account for is that it would just be conceptually rejected. It's happened before. I developed Lone Star.
Can I ask you, can I interrupt? When you say you like shows that are polarizing, that to me that sounds like a contradiction for a broadcast network, which is by definition meant to appeal to the mass.
Well, we're in the situation where we need to make noise. There's obviously a ton of competition. And so that's why I say we're not just going to go to the broadest, place, because we have to do something that's different, that offers something that they can't find on other networks, that comes up and like shakes them by the shoulders and says, you have to watch NBC tonight in order to get out of the situation we were in.
Why is it that the broadcast networks are having such a hard time doing what you just described compared to what the cable networks are doing so effectively on, say, AMC or Showtime with Homeland?
Focus is clearly a huge benefit when you're at a network that will typically have, I don't know the exact numbers, but let's say several hundred hours of original programming a year.
The networks, yeah.
The networks. As opposed to, let's take AMC, and we're all fans of the shows that they do, so we can talk about them. but they're reaching a fraction of our audience. I mean, genuinely, numerically, more people change channel during commercials than watch these shows on cable, okay? So we just need to talk about the relative universe. And then if we had 2 or 3 marketing priorities in a full calendar year, it would look very different. We don't. We've got, we have a, broadcast television network which relies largely on original programming with a small mix of repeats, is sort of a perfectly designed inventory burning tool. Like, I mean, you get through shows very quickly.
Yeah.
In cable, the ability to multiplex on several channels, the ability to accumulate a rating across multiple transmissions.
Well,
and
but
look at
you would
the-
also argue, if I'm going to play the devil's
Yeah.
advocate, that they have much fewer resources to create that
Well,
show.
actually,
Well,
really on a dollar-for-dollar basis, if you
some of
compare
their
the
shows are more.
marketing combined with the production, they're actually, that's more of a level playing field. It's not the difference in the financials of the launch budget of a show on cable.
Well, I mean,
Not
Revolution
dissimilar.
it strikes me as a daring show. It has a point of view. It has
I was going to say point of view, relevance. I mean, these things are critical to us. And, when J.J. Abrams and Eric Kripke came in and looked out over the 101 freeway at rush hour and said, what if everything stopped? It started this conversation that was relevant to all of us. It was, what would happen if we had a world where there was no technology, which then led into a conversation about the show. And that's what I think that relevance is what is drawing people to watch the show. I think that's the initial, they're not rejecting the concept, they're interested in it for that reason. And then the show obviously has to deliver on the goods of that. And I think so far it's been doing that.
yeah.